Here's more of our exclusive with Johnnie Courville, grandson of Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys drummer, Johnnie Edwards Courville.
My grandfather told me quite a few stories about those days. They liked to party and have a good time. You know, they drank their whiskey and had their female friends, what have you. My grandfather told me a story that any of the band members, if it was their birthday, they would ride in Bob's limo. As a rule, the limo rode in front of the bus, which was Bob's. Bob rode in the limo, the band rode in the bus. If it was your birthday, he would give you the limo. And your choice of any female that you'd like, all the way to the next show, yay. So I'm like, how rock and roll is that? They were the original, that's the king of swing. They really, Western swing, it wasn't really country music then, it was Western swing. So that stuff's really not around anymore, but he told me all kind of neat stories about Bob, the horses. They had a tour bus, like in the late 30s and early 40s. Nobody had a tour bus back then, you know. Bob was a little bit ahead of his time. The whole band was.
Now, friends, we're going to play you an old breakdown, the kind that you can just roll up the rug, move back the chairs, and turn on. You know, one of the old deep in the heart of Texas tunes. Here it is. Let's go, boys, a breakdown.
As I mentioned in the last segment, Johnnie and his wife Christy are donating Johnnie Edwards Courville's drum kit and photos to the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum in Nashville.
Oh, Tommy.
So she made the phone call last week to the Country Music Hall of Fame Museum in Nashville, Tennessee, downtown. The big one, the real one.
Like Johnnie Courville says, his grandfather must have been quite a character.
Yeah, this is the same kit as you see here with Bob Wills, Texas Playboys. It was my grandfather, Johnnie Courville the first. He went by Johnnie Edwards then because he was AWOL from the Navy. And nobody was supposed to know about it. So when he tried out for Bob, he said, look, man, I can't go by my name, Johnnie Courville. I'm gonna have to go by, it was Edward John Courville. I'm the third, he was the first. So he changed it around and made it his stage name so that he couldn't be found. As you can see here, this is where he would lay his cigarette down on top of his bass drum, like during a drum solo or whatever. If these drums could talk, I'm sure you'd hear a lot of jazz, or maybe I should say swing. And as you can see, they're warped and they're old. But you know what? This was a company that eventually turned into Ludwig drums, so they're really, really quality. These were high-dollar drums back in the day. This is the actual foot pedal, the bass drum pedal. My gosh, I'm glad I don't have to play that. I love my DW pedals. But yeah, I've had these in my possession since 1990, and it's time for the world to see them and just appreciate what it was at one time, what they were at one time.
As we mentioned earlier, Johnnie Courville Jr. is drummer for Image 6, a Beaumont-based rock band. And he's also worked with Black Oak, Arkansas. Check out this classic clip of Johnny's drum solo from a Black Oak, Arkansas gig back in 1995.
King of the Road.
Here comes this week's Honky Tonk Texas fabulous flashback.
I'm Jim King of the Road from Fox 4 KBTV. Anybody ever watch the King of the Road show on Fox 4, Saturday nights, 9:30? How'd you like a King of the Road show koozie? Here you go, for your cold beer. By the way, we'll be videotaping tonight portions of the show for an upcoming episode of the King of the Road show on Fox 4, and taking pictures for the Examiner newspaper. Y'all ready for a great show? All right, from Austin, Texas, 9-time Grammy Award winning, Asleep at the Wheel.
Good evening, friends. Here's one all about miles and miles of Texas. I was born in Louisiana, down on the old bayou. Raised on shrimps and catfish, Mammy's good gumbo. You know I got the rambling fever. Said bye to Ma and Pa. Cross that old Red River. This is what I saw.
King of the Road.
That was this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback.
The Texas honky tonk. There's no place like home.
Since 2008, Honky Tonk Texas and Silsbee, Texas has featured a steady stream of the very best in local, regional, and national touring bands. Pack up your posse and boot scoot over to Honky Tonk Texas for great concerts, dancing, drinking, and dining. Of course, steak night is every Thursday, and don't forget about the Honky Tonk Grill. Visit them online at facebook.com/honkytonktx and at honkytonktexas.us. Honky Tonk Texas and Silsbee has been entertaining Southeast Texas since 2008. Where have you been?